morning, dear SHEM stars. How are you all, students? Welcome to the maths class. Today we are going to study the complex numbers and covering the topic complex numbers, formula for I and geometrical representations of complex numbers. So first let us understand what are the complex numbers. So students, complex numbers are the numbers which consist of real part and imaginary part. Real part we know that is something related with the real numbers, but what is imaginary part? So the number will be of the form a plus b iota. Now b will again a real number, but this I stands for an imaginary part. If I is multiplied by that, then we say that our imaginary part is b. Here I stands for under root of minus 1. So this implies iota square is equal to minus 1. So this is the basic for the complex numbers, that a number which is of the form a plus iota b or b iota are known as complex numbers, whose a stands for the real part and b stands for the imaginary part. Student, complex numbers is the greatest set of numbers. Real numbers, rational numbers, irrational numbers, integers, natural numbers, all other sets are contained in the complex numbers. Next comes some basic formulas for iota, that is the imaginary. So I square stands for minus 1. So this implies I cube will be equal to minus iota. How come? I cube can be written as I square into I. So I square value is minus 1, so that become minus iota. So likewise iota raised to power 4 is 1. Remember this, that iota raised to power 4 is 1 and iota cube is minus 1. Iota square equal to 1 means that is iota square into iota square, that is minus 1 into minus 1, that reduces to again 1. Next, iota raised to power 5. As iota raised to power 4 is 1, so 5 can be written as iota raised to power 4 into iota raised to power 1. So this reduces to iota. Again iota raised to power 6. So that can be written as iota raised to power 4 plus 2. Iota raised to power 4, 1. So 2 is again minus 1. Iota raised to power 7. Again reduce 4 from that. So iota cube, that is equal to minus iota. Next is iota raised to power 8, that can be written as iota raised to power 4 into 2. So iota raised to power 4 is 1, so 1 square is again 1. So this implies whenever we are having iota in the power of multiples of 4, its value is always 1, and rest we always calculate on the basis of iota raised to power 4 and iota square equal to minus 1. Next is the geometrical representation of a complex number. Suppose our complex number is of the form a plus b iota. So here real part is a and imaginary part is b. What we need to remember during geometrical representation of a complex number is that the real part is always plotted along the x-axis and the imaginary part, that is b, is always plotted against the y-axis. So that means x-axis represents the real part of the complex number and y-axis represents the imaginary part of the complex number. Now here is the example for the same. Suppose our complex number is 3 plus 2 iota, where 3 is the real part of the complex number and 2 is the imaginary part. So this implies 3 will be plotted against the x-axis and 2 will be plotted on the y-axis. So this implies our point 3, 2 will lie in the first quadrant with x value 3 and y value 2. So next example, suppose we have to represent the number 1 plus 2 iota. So here 1 stands for the x and 2 stands for the y coordinate. So we will plot 1, 2 in the first quadrant. So today we have covered the topic. The very first was the introduction of complex numbers. We have seen that complex numbers can be written in the form of a plus iota b, where a stands for the real part of the complex number and b for the imaginary part. Next, second thing that we have learned is what are the powers of I stand for, that is iota stands for. We have learned that iota square is -1 and iota raised to power 4 is 1. The two important things that we need to keep in our mind. Next was the geometrical representation of our complex numbers. How we have represented them? We have represented a complex number by representing its real part on the x-axis and imaginary part on the y-axis. Students, I hope all these three topics are clear to you all now. So do revise these three topics again. Shemstars, tomorrow we are going to cover the topic argument of a complex number and modulus of a complex number. That's all for today, students. Do revise what we have done in the class today. Plus do your homework also. And in case you have any query, please feel free to ask on the Google Classroom at any time. Take care and have a great day ahead, students.